Hey, good morning, everybody. Raymond here. Man, it's 7:30. That's way later than normal. Get my camera set up right there. Hey, so glad that you are with me this morning. It is hump day. I think it is. It's Wednesday, man. Been a busy week already. And man, I'm glad that you are on here. Let's rock and roll. Let's just get into it. I know you're probably on your way to work or on your way to getting the kids off to school, or I don't know what's going on, but man, I got somewhere to go pretty quick. So I'm gonna jump into something. Got in my time this morning. And ended up, I watched some little motivational things and some scripture inspiring YouTube things. But sometimes you get off on a rabbit trail, so you got to stay focused on what your morning routine is supposed to be. But I jumped over and I'm in Luke chapter 9. Luke chapter 9 this morning, and again reading out of Life Application Study Bible. Again, believe everyone should have one of these, some type of study Bible, but I particularly like the Life Application on here. Let me see who's on here watching with me so I can say hi. Good morning, Stacy. Glad that you are with me. And man, uh, maybe people are all driving, so they can't go. But you'll see this later. Make sure that you comment. If you'll do this for me, if you're watching this on Facebook, switch. Just take some time, watch the video, but um, go over to the YouTube channel. Just look for Open Road Fellowship on YouTube and like and subscribe. Excuse me. Ooh, the devil don't want me to tell y'all. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. As we boost subscriptions, there are things that we'll be able to do more through the YouTube thing. So glad that you're on here. We're in Luke chapter 9. We're going to talk about the transfiguration, Jesus' transfiguration. Big word, big church thing. It's a pretty cool piece. But again, one of the things I love about the study Bible is this is in the Gospels, in the Gospel of Luke, but it also tells me this exact same story is also told in the Gospel of Matthew and Mark. Okay, so really, really cool. So here it is, starting at verse 28. I'm going to read you the whole little section here. It says, about 8 days after Jesus said this just is referring to something he'd done before. He took Peter, John, and James with him and went up onto a mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became bright as a flash of lightning. Two men, Moses and Elijah, appeared in glorious splendor, talking with Jesus. They spoke about his departure, which he was about to bring to fulfillment in Jerusalem. Verse 32, it says, Peter and his companions were very sleepy. The dudes were always sleeping. Were very sleepy. But when they became fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. And as the men were leaving Jesus, Peter said to him, Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. He didn't know what he was saying. Verse 34, and while he was speaking, a cloud appeared and covered them, and they were afraid as they entered the cloud. And a voice came from the cloud saying, This is my son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him. And when the voice had spoken, they found Jesus was alone. The disciples kept this to themselves and did not tell anyone at that time what they had seen. Okay, we got a really powerful piece of scripture here. Not a theologian. I've read this a bunch of times, and I've been through the commentary. I recommend you read the commentary. But just some real quick things about this. One, this is kind of a leadership principle. This is kind of maybe, have you ever been mad because you didn't get involved, or favoritism and stuff? Look, notice that Jesus took Peter, John, and James. All right, all 3 gospels correlate that only 3 of them went up there. These were the 3 closest to Jesus. There were 12 disciples, 12 apostles, or 12 disciples, and there were many other followers. There were hundreds of followers, but he really hung out with 12. And then we see here many times Jesus only took 3 with him. Okay, so from a leadership standpoint, here is Jesus, the master. He could do everything he wanted, but he still only took a few. He had a few that he poured directly into. So that's just a leadership thing that to look at and see. But we get up there, and all of a sudden he's transfigured. His face becomes bright, his clothes become bright, and then Moses That's way back in the beginning of the book. All right, way back in the beginning. Moses and Elijah are there. Here's what they represent. Remember, it also it talked about there was a cloud, the voice of God came down. They heard, "This is my son who I have chosen, listen to him." See, Jesus is the completion. Jesus is the Messiah. He is the one that everything points to. All of the Old Testament is pointing toward Jesus. So now there are two components of the Old Testament that Jesus is talking to. Moses represents the law, the old covenant, all right? He represents that. And then Elijah represents the prophets, okay? The law and the prophets all point to Jesus. So now Jesus is hanging out with them. He's like chilling and stuff. They're just talking. And then the other guys wake up. They're like, "Oh my gosh." And Peter wants to build these shelters and stuff. And that just happens to be trying to fulfill some old law stuff of 10 of festivals of tent and different. Don't worry about all that. But Peter's wanting to do the work. And Jesus is like, "No, dude, we were just hanging. I'm the completion of them. I'm the completion of what they were. They are in me." And you hear God says, "This is my son who I'm well pleased, who I've chosen. Listen to him." Man, it's really, really important that we remember that we're not. Moses was there. That's the law. All right. Some people say now understand Jesus is the completion of the law. We are not condemned by the law. We are not obligated to the law, but the law is still there. He still showed up. The prophets and the things that pointed to Jesus and told us the teachings of God as God spoke through his prophets, they're still there. Now they're completed. They're completed in Jesus, but the principles of the prophets and the principles of the law are still things that we should hold on to. We don't murder because murder goes against what Jesus said, because love your neighbor. You look at the 10 Commandments, they're all about loving people. They're loving God and loving people. Okay. So we got to make sure that we're doing it. So anyway, this is kind of one of them big, deep ones. You're like, I don't even really know what all this. Read it and read it over and let God begin to speak to you in this transfiguration. Great big word, great big theology piece. But see, and even the guys in the time, they were confused about what it all meant. But Jesus, we have the whole story. But Jesus was like, "Hey guys, listen, that's all complete. It's all me. All right, this is a confirmation. It's all me." And he told them, "Don't go tell anybody," which they went and told everybody. So anyway, hey, I hope this is kind of a hump day thing, gets you over the edge to understand Jesus is the completion. Jesus completes everything, and we just need to worship him, and we need to be in his presence and watch how he makes everything just move in the direction it's supposed to go. So anyway, that's the quick devotion. Not a real big rah-rah one and stuff. Kind of just getting some deep stuff, but that's all right. That's what we need to do. We need to grow, continue to grow in our relationship with Christ, and learn what it means. Okay, law, prophets, Jesus, all done. Hey guys, y'all have a great hump day. Have a great Wednesday. You're over it. We're getting, and then the thing about it, it's not just we're getting closer to the weekend. We're getting closer to Sunday. A chance we can get together and fellowship and be the church together in the building. But outside of that, we're gonna rock on and get outside the walls. Guys, I love you. Have a great day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe not. If not, I'll see you Sunday. Get to church. It's all gonna be good.